I reacted to the Pacers Celtics during halftime of Kings Pelicans, so I figured why not do another reaction to the Kings Pelicans, which just ended, and the Pelicans ended up winning. They are going to Vegas, beating the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento 127-117. And if I had a big takeaway from this game that really stuck out to me, is that going back to my video I did about Zion Williamson last year, when this Pelicans team is healthy, when healthy, that's the operative word, they are the deepest team in the NBA, arguably. If not the deepest team, the most versatile team, because I think they have the deepest wing room in the NBA. When you talk about Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy back for his third game so far this year. And once he gets his legs under him, that 35-foot shooting range is going to help out the spacing a lot. Jose Alvarado being a pest. CJ McCollum getting mid-range buckets and hitting pull-up threes off the dribble. Jonas Valanciunas and Domantas Sabonis battling in the paint, lowering their shoulder into each other like a bunch of Great Horn Rams, having like a headbutting battle. It was a very striking game watching a fully healthy Pelicans team. And look, they didn't have the best showing in Chicago over the weekend. I watched that game in full, and they kind of had some offensive lulls. But the Pelicans are just so deep, and they can go with all types of different lineups. They even went with a Zion at the 5 lineup. And look, Zion really didn't have a good game. I hold him to a higher standard because he should be the crown jewel of this team. But yeah, he had 3 steals, but his defense I thought was garbage for the most part. He was out on the court. Anytime Fox had a switch on him, Zion barely moved his feet, and it was a bucket. There was one time where he was slow rotating over at the rim to contest a Fox drive. It was in the first half, and it was a foul. Zion's got to be better. He really wasn't in the crucial closing lineup as the Pelicans were extending the lead with 5 minutes to go in the game. Zion subbed back in with about a minute left, but when you're talking about the lineup Willie Green rolled with, it was CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and Jonas Valanciunas. And even in some other games, Larry Nance Jr. isn't even back yet, by the way. He's been out with a fractured rib, and he's someone else who adds versatility and athleticism. But just the amount of bodies they threw at Fox in this game. The Kings started off really hot. They were 7 of 11 from 3. The dribble handoff game was going really well with Kevin Huerter. Domantas Sabonis was acting as a hub, and it was really effective. And then Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy, and Jose Alvarado entered the game in that first quarter, and the Pelicans got it to within 1. And Fox just faced every defender. Jose Alvarado was on him. Herb Jones was on him to start out the game. Trey Murphy guarded him some on the occasional switch. I don't think the Pelicans wanted Trey Murphy on Fox a lot. Najee Marshall some too. And then when Fox got into the paint, there was just arms and length everywhere, bothering, contesting shots at the rim. There was a lot of intensity in this game, a lot of fouls in this game between both teams. And the Kings just looked outmatched and outsized, and that was one of the issues with the Kings over the summer, or one of the questions was, where is the size at the wing going to come from aside from Harrison Barnes and Keegan Murray? Because Kevin Huerter's kind of smaller. De'Aaron Fox, 6'4", big for a guard, but we're talking about wings here, and the Pelicans just have a bunch of wings that range from 6'6", 6'7", to 6'8". And then you throw in Brandon Ingram on top of that, who was fantastic in this game, hitting tough shots, hitting, momentum shots when the Kings were making their run. Brandon Ingram was also making some insane passes to, if it wasn't the initial assist, it was the second assist, the secondary assist, like one he had where he was doubled on the right block, I believe, found Herb Jones flashing to the middle, and Herb Jones threw it to Trey Murphy for an opposite wing 3 to kind of push the Pelicans back up to 8 in the fourth quarter. This Pelicans team is deep, man. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dyson Daniels, who only played 6 minutes, also wreaked havoc, guarded Fox for a few possessions, and had 2 steals in 6 minutes. In total, the Pelicans had 12 steals and 7 blocks. Like, that is just length and athleticism and wing versatility personified. And of course, like I mentioned, Valanciunas was banging with Sabonis down low. He had his triple-double, but Jonas did kind of try to match him a little bit with 18 and 11, and he did foul out towards the end. But this Pelicans team, man, they even went with Zion at the 5 a little bit, and that was also bad. Like, this is going to be something I'm going to track with Zion, because I just felt like watching him in college, he was going to be a better defender than what he's shown in the league so far. Now he's had a combination of injuries and being out of shape, etc. But to just have cement feet on the defensive end of the floor when you have quick twitch, fast muscle athleticism displayed on the offensive end of the floor, and those crazy splash defensive plays that were so frequent in college and his rookie year, I just haven't seen it as frequently. And that's going to be interesting to watch for the Pelicans, because if Zion gets a few more injuries, God forbid, because he's been playing better as of late. He's been playing more like Zion recently. If he gets a few more injuries, this Pelicans team, I'm afraid, is going to grow past him, because they have drafted well, they have a bunch of really good players, and they have Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, and no, that's not going to ultimately lead you to a championship, I believe. Like I said, Zion's the crown jewel, but I'm not alarmed, but this is something to track going forward. But either way, the Pelicans have one thing a lot of NBA teams wish they had, and a lot of fan bases wish they had when they talk about adding 3-and-D wing players and stuff like that. The Pelicans are actually living that reality, and they have it in spades.